Welcome back to some professional Starcraft 2 from the Stay-at-Home Story Cup hosted by Take TV. I've got a couple players that I'm personally fans of, and I hope you are as well, fighting for their spot. When we first introduce you, you might recognize him. Sponsored by ENTS, the 5-time WCS champion, the former world champion, the multi-time Homestory Cup champion, the Fedora champion, the Finnisher. It is SERRAL. And the greatest player ever from the United States of America, from the great state of New York, sponsored by Ting, playing Protoss. It is NEEB. It's NEEB. Already up to something. Once again, we see NEEB versus SERRAL. SERRAL, I think, has gotten the better end of this matchup more times than not. But it always seems to be, and honestly, I think of them as kind of a similar style of players. Obviously, they don't play the same race. But both of them are more comfortable and like to default to a more macro game, like we're talking 3-4 bases, mid to later game tech, a lot of pieces on the table to work with. Not so much, and I'm not saying neither will do it, but not so much early game cheeses or all-ins. Once again, it's on the table, but it is definitely not their forte. Though I don't know if SERRAL has any non-fortes. He's always speaking very loudly. Oh, well, quietly, but he carries a big stick. So that's important. NEEB, on the other hand, a little more willing to cheese and mix it up than he maybe once was. He used to be like, I'm doing standard macro build, and if you all in me, you're dumb. Because most of the time he would defend it, but sometimes he would just die because he doesn't have enough units. So far, though, we're back to basics. The Stargate kind of semi-hidden at the back here. Not really hidden, but also not where an Overlord would obviously scout it. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and say SERRAL realizes there's a Stargate based on the Phoenix pounding into his Overlord. It takes a little while, but eventually that Overlord will crumble. It's very sad. First blood. He was looking for any additional information. NEEB held off, getting his 2 extra gases. Well, it looks like an Adept. Did Adept die? Yeah, he lost the Adept, unfortunately, but does get a scout on SERRAL's drone count. He killed a drone. The Phoenix will scout the 3rd base, which isn't particularly quick out of SERRAL. And Oracle's going to look for an opportunity. A Robo to start things off. Will we see a Twilight? Or is NEEB going to go... I'd say Robo is probably... It's weird. It's weird. Robo can be defensive or aggressive. And Warp Prisms kind of give you a lot of options. Oftentimes, we will see a Twilight with a robotics facility for things like Archon Drop. But in this case, just the Robo straight up and a 3rd base out of NEEB. Hydra is done by SERRAL with a very quick lair. Getting a Hydra is done. And, like, a lair finishing well before 4 minutes, or right around 4 minutes. And now already Hydra's on the way. SERRAL's only at 43 rounds. SERRAL's doing a Hydra all in. Which is, did he see the Robo? He didn't. A little bit of a gamble here. But up against, up against an Archon drop, or against exactly what NEEB is doing, this Hydra attack is actually super dangerous because NEEB isn't going to really have that many units. And what you need here is either a lot of splash damage or a sheer unit count. NEEB is still pumping out the probes. Behind this, SERRAL's getting some more workers. But there's only 3 gateways. There's only... I don't know if NEEB has tagged the Hydralisk yet. They're going to have speed first, and that does indicate aggression because that speed upgrade only affects Hydras off a creep. On creep, they have the same speed. It's a bonus off a creep only, effectively. It might be a very slight difference on creep, but... Surprise! A whole bunch of Hydras, but guess what? Actually, the Immortal's holding a little stronger than I thought. The force fields were great from NEEB. Never mind. Guess what? Immortals were good. That's where we ended up here. That attack from SERRAL, it looked good to start, but Hydras just don't have that much HP. And a handful of units combined with a couple good force fields out of NEEB, he isolated, he divided, and he conquered. Veni Vidi Vici? Is that it? It might be a different order. Whatever, one of those. I would have sounded real smart if I just nailed that. But I have the best words. And NEEB has the best units. As Immortals, already done. And Templar on the way. Archons on the table. I have a feeling NEEB already has gases 5 and 6. He's going to go for Storm immediately. I think he realizes that SERRAL wasn't all in. He was just... honestly, that was SERRAL kind of trying to slip a win in there, or a lead at least. He got the sentries. Was it worth 8 Hydras? I don't think so. NEEB isn't going for Storm, which is a little surprising to me. It looks like he wants to lay on the pressure here. SERRAL has spiraled up to 75 drones. He has +1 melee. He's got both Hydra upgrades. +1 melee and Baneling speed on the way as well. So, the big weakness, NEEB's going to have a nice, thick, brute force army. Gets rid of that Changeling. He's got a whole lot of Immortals. He's got the Archons. He's going to have charge lots with +1. But the weakness of this is just a critical mass of Hydralisks alongside some good Baneling connections. Like, NEEB has a fierce army here, but it isn't overwhelming. And without Storm, the Banelings, he doesn't have any force field. The charge lots go straight into the Banes, and suddenly the barriers are stripped away. He's already lost. One of the Immortals loses an Archon. Off to a rough start here is NEEB. He didn't have any force field. Down goes another Archon. NEEB's got to back up. He's got to back up. Just hide. He doesn't agree with me. Okay, I've been there before. That's fair. But if maybe you were able to get through the Banelings without losing key units, okay, but once those Banelings connected with the first rounds of charge lots, yeah, okay. NEEB gave it a shot. I don't mind the idea. If he had lost, I was about to say if he had lost the Prism, then maybe, yeah, that would have been really bad. But he didn't lose the, well, because now he doesn't have anything keeping SERRAL at home. All of SERRAL's efforts are going to be focused on keeping NEEB at bay and breaking down anything stopping him from victory. SERRAL has 76 drones. He's just rolling right up on in. There is a stasis. It's not good enough. NEEB just taps it out. He surrenders before SERRAL can get the satisfaction of Baneling connections. He reached too far, too fast. And SERRAL took full advantage. Storm's good. And SERRAL's not going to let you get that. Like, he's too good at that. I'm really surprised he pushed out without Storm. Like, he was kind of riding off the, I kind of crushed that Hydralisk attack. He did. Like, I'm surprised at how poorly it did. But then SERRAL kind of crushed the counterattack. And that sends us right into game 2. Wait, what? Okay, wait. Serral's going for a 14 hatch. He really doesn't want to get pylon blocked. Interesting. So, I'm not sure if this is going to be for a big Ling all-in, which is on the table, or if this is literally, I hate getting pylon blocked. The thing is, though, with Serral, we've seen him many times just, okay, you're going to try to block me? I'll just take my third. And that, So this is what indicates to me this might be something different. It might just be a shift in how Serral deals with the early probes. But so far it looks like he's just preempting a pylon block. But NEEB, with the Galaxy Brain plays, he can't stop you from pylon blocking if you don't scout with a probe. Which, in this scenario, because Serral took the hatch so early, he actually cut his economy a little bit for it. You don't get as strong of an economy if you go for the hatch at 14. You just don't have as many drones for as long. What is this? Was he looking for a proxy hatch at his own? Okay, so he just looked for a proxy hatch at the Rich Vespine base. That indicates to me that at some point, NEEB has been proxy hatched at this base. And I don't know if it was this tournament, or just on the ladder, or if he's just thinking about it, but I would love to see that game. Serral, he a little later on the gas, so he's not going to have speed started right as the pool finishes, which is not a big, it's not an issue, it's just a choice he made. NEEB already transferring some probes down. Stargate, he's not deterred off of that. That last game had nothing to do with the opener, it had to do with the decision making. Like, I think NEEB had all the tools, he just didn't quite use them in the ideal possible way. And by that I mean, like, pushing out, there was no reason NEEB needed to push out without Storm. He thought, like, I think the decision-making process was, well, Serral went for early pressure, so he didn't have as many drones. Correct. And then after that, oh my god, Serral. Jesus Christ. Oh, but is it, whoa, whoa, whoa! Citizens arrest!
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
And now NEEB shades into the main. Good move so far. Already getting a couple drones. He spots the lair, by the way. Very interesting. Once again, Serral going for the quick lair. One adept goes down, but denying... Now, obviously, the Overlord's going to scout it, but denying that scout for the Ling was nice. Getting a couple drones. Sending the adept shade back. I'm kind of surprised he sent it. Or he canceled it, rather. There's no third. Like, he saw the lair. That is the biggest. Ooh, bit of miss micro there. He saw the lair. So, this is 2 games in a row. Serral has gone for, like, a pre-4-minute lair. As in, it's finishing around 4 minutes. So, is this Hydra's again? Is this a direct counter to NEEB's Stargate opener? I'd imagine. Like, this isn't going to be Nidus, right? Yeah, it's got to be Hydra. Make me look smart, Serral. Oh my god. Whoa. That Oracle just got to chill for a while. Serral's not actually... What? 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 Swarm host? No, actually, Winter, it's an Ultralisk rush. God. Learn to play. If it is, I will retire. Meanwhile, NEEB builds a second Stargate. Is he gonna go? Well, I'm sure Roddy was excited about this build. A whole lot of adepts, though they don't have glaives, but you get enough adepts and they don't really need them. Oh my god. A Nidus network started. Serral. A little sloppy there, pulling his drones all the way off for the stasis. I can't believe a stasis even came up. Oh! Brenda! Go around! Go around! Oh! No, the other way! Oh no! Meanwhile, another stasis hits the main. NEEB just, like, these are unglaved. These are stock adepts right here. I mean, they're pretty nice, even out of the box, but without glaives, they're not nearly as much of a threat. The Nidus, I'm pretty sure NEEB saw the Nidus. Now, it's kind of a weird scenario. I get... He finds the first Nidus. That's huge. The first one, every Nidus past this is... Well, every second that NEEB isn't getting hit by Swarm Host is another good second for him. It's a relatively low economy game here. Serral's at 41 drones. He's gonna put a Nidus pretty far out of the third. Oh, NEEB feels it. He smells it. But, out it. The queens are here as well. He's using the zealots to draw out the swoops. He'll sacrifice 2 for the greater good. And so far, NEEB with an immaculate defense. And he could just pick up the queens. Yeah, go back in your Nidus, you fools. The Phoenixes aren't a bad counter. They can just kill the Locust. Well, this is weird. This is... well, there goes the Oracle. Okay, so this isn't so great. There's... No, NEEB! No, you can't just let the Zerglings in! No! It's... not, I mean, it's a minor disaster. It's not the end of the world. There's an Immortal out as well. Well, that's pretty good against the Nidus. If it hits them, you gotta hit the Nidus. Meanwhile, the Zerglings are cleaned up. But the Swarm Hosts are on the third base side. Down goes the Nidus in the main. The Zerglings being chased back to the corner where they're walled off with a Stargate. Locust drop down onto the third. Behind this, SERRAL is still just making Swarm Hosts. What is his end game, though? That's the question. Like, SERRAL has to try to kill him. Now, I don't, like, this is an expert commentary, but, Swarm Hosts don't kill Phoenixes. This may come as a shock. But, as long as NEEB holds on, the Phoenixes are going to get more, and, well, it appears NEEB held on long enough. As now, we're all tied up. 1-1. At that point, SERRAL cuts his losses and says, "All right, okay, I get it. We're good." NEEB getting that first night. Honestly, that game, SERRAL felt a lot sloppier. Just from several things, start to finish. It started with going for the 14 hatch. I don't really see many Zergs go for that. That was kind of a thing for a while. Some players will do it. Usually it trends towards going for a bunch of wings after that. But SERRAL was just kind of like, I'm not getting pylon blocked. It was a little weird. But Jimmy says before we go into the next match, it's match point. We got to make that ad revenue. We got sponsors to think of. So I'll be right back. Just one moment. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Winter, and I'm here to talk to you all about liking and subscribing. Did you know there are buttons on YouTube you can press? And that will make you more likely to press buttons in the future? Well, YouTube knows that as well. So, when you do that, you're more likely to get recommended my videos. But, even better, you could get an annoying notification every day by ringing the bell. Ring the bell, and you'll never be without winter content. Thank you. Good day. Thank you guys for sticking around. We're going to game 3. SERRAL versus NEEB. After SERRAL getting kind of knocked around a little bit in game 2. So far, honestly, NEEB has looked like the stronger player in this series. In game 1, SERRAL kind of had some off tempo attack. And it was only NEEB overextending that really decided it. And then game 2, NEEB just never really looked like he was behind. Serral's back to the 16 hatch. I wonder what he's looking for with that. Maybe just a super quick probe, I guess. A medium-timed probe. Not too quick. Not too late. That probe arrives exactly when it needs to. And we'll see the hatchery first. NEEB never one of those play like, I don't know if I've ever seen NEEB cannon rush in PvZ. I'm sure I have. I'm sure I've seen it before. But as compared to like parting, where you flip a coin, and if that coin lands on heads or lands on tails, it's probably going to be a cannon rush. It really stands out that NEEB hasn't stooped or ascended to that level, depending on your opinion. And he won't be in this series either, as he's got a Nexus, a Cybernetic score. He's already mining with 3 in gas. I wouldn't be surprised to see 3 for 3 on the Stargates. Dat Horaeus. Go away, probe. I'm calling HR. HR is human resources, you idiot. Are you a human? Checkmate, drone. Probe's on the run. A couple Zerglings come out, just 2. Stargate. 3 for 3. 3 games in a row. He's just comfortable. Like, the Stargate allows you to force a certain response. Either the Zerg needs to go for some sort of pressure or build anti-air. Aggressive scouting as well as potential damage. And of course, knocking down overlords with things like Phoenixes is top priority. First Adept is on the way. We'll have to see if NEEB opts for anything different than before. Like, in Game 1, he just did a straight-up robotics. Immortals, Sentries, third base. Game 2 was the heavier Adept play into Double Star Phoenix. Once again, like, what does SERRAL know that we don't? SERRAL is going for a 3-minute lair. I don't know. I honestly, like, I can speculate. I don't know why. To speculate, and this is not me saying like it could be this. No, I literally don't know, but I'd imagine the normal strategy for a non-cannon rushing Protoss is to do a 2-base pressure. The best way to deal with a 2-base pressure is get, well, Hydralisks in a reasonable number deal with most 2-base pressures better than Roaches, because Roaches force you to kind of hamstring your economy for units that are easily countered. And SERRAL is going for the Hydralisk deck. Like, say it's going to be like an Archon drop follow-up, or Immortal Sentry, or Stargate. If you get the Hydras out, then you have a much better and better late-game counter than Roaches. Like, a lot of players will go straight to Roaches and be like, I'm shutting down this. But then they're kind of stuck on really, like, Roaches are designed to be an incredibly mediocre unit. So, SERRAL sacrifices some of his economy. And by the way, did they switch colors? Wasn't SERRAL... Am I a crazy person? At least they're not the same race, right? Ooh. I hate when they do that in mirror matchups, though. That is absolutely the worst. Anyways, I completely derailed my entire train of thought. But I have to imagine the Hydralisks are to have both an answer to 2-base pressure, and if you are going to cut your economy, at least you're building a unit that gives you some efficacy later in the game. We will see. Twilight Council, charge, +1. Templar Archives in 3, 2. I'm going to say right here. In 3, 2. NEEB, make your Templar Archive. Stop building probes. He loves probes. He really does. 3. He's going to build it right here, though. That's the call. He just keeps building so many probes. No! Ruined. Meanwhile, Immortals, Charge Lots, Sentries, a little bit of everything. NEEB coming out with a very quick attack. Is there even a prism? There's not even a prism. Wow, NEEB's just out here. He's just out here right now. Brenda! What are those force fields? And he pulls back. So this is something we saw a lot more with the lower economies of Wings of Liberty and Heart of the Swarm, where Protoss would push out, use sentries to kind of protect themselves, and then pull back. And now you force the Zerg to make units, because, like, he could continue attacking. And then if you pull back at the right time, you've actually hurt the Zerg's economy without really risking anything. And that was a beautiful timing out of NEEB, but it would have been much more beautifuler if he had been able to take out the 4th with the rich Vespene geyser, double the speed of gas mining with just 3 drones. And each drone mines twice as much, essentially. So it's worth 2 gas geysers to make it simpler. And now NEEB is going for everything else. We've got Storm. We've got +1. We've got more Immortals. We've got a 4th base. But I feel like I've casted this sort of game between SERRAL and NEEB half a dozen times over the last 2 or 3 years. We're going to have a 4-base Immortal Archon Templar charge lot action up against Hydras, Lings, and Banes. The one kicker, though, Mutas. SERRAL's going to have enough gas for 13 Mutas. See? Look, I didn't lie to you. Right there. Production tab. Boom. The thing is, 13, 15 Mutas. Well, there's no Archon. Like, you can't. You really want to have, like, at least a couple Archons? So you're not forced to use Storm against just Zerglings? Is he going to spot the Spire? SERRAL's hiding his Mutas, but he doesn't hide all of them! NEEB spots them! But still, he doesn't have much time to react. NEEB's got to scramble back. Fleet Beacon's already on the way. We're going to see some more Phoenixes in production, I am sure. NEEB, I am sure. I am sure. There it is. Chrono Boost. There's only a single cannon here. I get 15 Mutalisks. Oh, well. That ended a lot more abruptly than I was expecting.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
And SERRAL takes it 2-1. NEEB just didn't expect the speed of the Mutas. It was a bit of a Muta risk. But he slams his Muta fist. And all NEEB can do is Muta Tisk. As, no. Well, 15 Mutas. Like, if it's 5, if it's 8, okay. But 15 was too much for NEEB. He's gonna make... He doesn't have enough Phoenixes to make Muta Bisque. Yeah, there you go. But hopefully you enjoyed. Is that how you thought it would end? Like and subscribe and ring the bell and all the comments and all of that every single day. Good luck. Have fun. Thanks for watching. Stay at Home Story Cup. Thank you to Take TV. See you next time. Cut.